Francisco for a year and sold leather goods on
yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah,
So
yes.
that's awesome. And her keys to success are gratitude and grace. So thank you, Shirley. Take it
Thank
away.
you. Thanks, everybody. So let's see. I've got pictures of my family here somewhere, I think. Or do you want to just do that, Aaron?
Yeah, I can just say it for you if that's not.
It doesn't seem to work. Okay, so this is my best friend, Greg, 34 years. This is in Ireland. We had a lot of fun there. My older son, Jason, came home from kindergarten and told me that something heinous had happened on the playground. He had a large vocabulary then. He still has a larger vocabulary now than I do. And my younger son, Scott, with some kiddos that we take to the lake. He's a big kid, and he probably always will be a big kid. So that's kind of my life. You can go on. So I've been in title for about 25 years. I was on the escrow side for 10. I closed real estate transactions for 1 year, and I said, okay, sales looks like a lot more fun than closing. That's a high pressure job. They're responsible for a lot of zeros and yeah. So what is title insurance? What we do when you come to us and you're buying some real estate, we are guaranteeing to the buyer that they're going to have clear title. So there's not going to be any liens against the property. We make sure everything gets paid off. We check the names for buyers and sellers, for judgments, mechanics liens. So our guarantee to you, our commitment to you when we send out that title commitment is that you're going to have clear title. Let's see. So the difference between insurance, our guys that are in here, is health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, insures the future. So you're always paying premiums because you're going into the future. With title insurance, when you buy a piece of property, that policy that you get when you buy that property is going to insure the past, and you keep that with your property until you sell. So it's important to think about where you're getting that title insurance from as the buyer, and that's going to continue on with you. So how do we get started? The two things that we do, so we have a title side and an escrow side. The title people do the research on the property, and that's our responsibility, is to research it 100%, make sure that we find everything that's recorded against that property, and we also do check names. The escrow side, they're the folks that are dealing with the money, so they contact buyers and sellers to get their account numbers, their social security numbers. So we take care of all that. If you have liens and judgments, we make sure that those get paid. We have to determine that if you have any kind of judgments, it's not negotiable. Many people come to us thinking they can negotiate with us. We don't really negotiate. It's just what it is. You can, if you have an HOA lien, what we hear quite often is, it wasn't our fault, it was a different shade of blue than it was supposed to be. We'd love to communicate with you, but it doesn't really matter. You have to pay what the HOA says that you're going to pay. So that's kind of what those closers do. We can go to the next slide. So what do we do when we do that title search? We do the chain of title, and that's one reason why lots of times we'll find folks that do transferring of title. Maybe they've got a friend, they're just going to do a quick claim. If it doesn't get notarized correctly, that's something that we're going to need to clean up. And I got to tell you, the title officers are picky, and especially the title officer that I work with. We still have one that sits in our office. That's unusual. Not everybody still has a real person sitting there making decisions. So that allows us to make decisions at the end. But she'll check and see if your middle initials are wrong or it's not stamped with the notary. So she does all of that. We do the judgment and name search and find a lot of things that perhaps the lender doesn't even find that we still find. One of our most common things are child support payments. So that's something that we find often. Then we send out that commitment. And after closing, that's when you get the we send out the title commitment, and then after closing, you get your policy. And that's kind of what those words mean. I think I already talked about all of that. We can go on to the one that says closing. Yeah, so then we get to closing. This has been a very stressful time in the title insurance world because of security. Oh gosh, yes, yes. And within the last 5 years, I think we have changed our system at least 10 times. We used to send things out and they would fax us back. And actually, you know what's kind of funny about that? We may go back to faxing. Really? Especially with Social Security numbers. But if it's an e-fax, that's not good either. So we have to contact, we need to get socials. We do recommend to our realtors they not get involved in anything with people's socials, so that is back on the title company. Much better for the title company to experience a loss than for our realtors to do that. So we have to get socials, account numbers, and then of course there's the wiring issue as well. Right now we went through smart portals, we went through secure website, encrypted emails, and unfortunately what we found were that lots of our clients would print out those wiring instructions and then email them to their clients, and so then we've lost all of our security. So right now we're only doing it verbally, and if you're a buyer and you need to wire funds, we ask you a few questions to make sure that you are the buyer, because as Ronnie will tell you, there are apps that can make it look like you're calling when it isn't you, and so that's been a huge problem for us. The buyer's lender, we work very closely with the lender. They help us get the names right. They send us their documents, hopefully in a timely manner, and we're fortunate to have Charity here because she does do that. I'm very happy to be working with her. The closer gets all the numbers together, and that includes HOA statements. I don't know if anyone here is on the board of an HOA. It's kind of our nemesis. The fees with HOAs have gotten very large, and when we order statements, we can get charged $300 to $500 for that first statement, another $300 or $500 for the second statement if the closing gets delayed. If we get complaint from a consumer at closing about anything, it will be the HOA fees or the admin fee. Some realtors have admin fees. I'm already at 2 minutes. Okay, and I told her I would never go on. We're just gonna skip ahead. We're gonna go on to, you can keep going to there, I wanted to show you this, and I actually did this for Daryl, but he's not here. So this is the closer that Daryl used. Her name is Lori Thompson. She is like the quietest, shyest person in the world, and this is how she came dressed. I didn't even recognize her that day. So that's kind of my group, and I absolutely could never do this job without them. They're all great, and I love them all dearly. So the next slide. We offer marketing services for realtors. Our most popular one is this app. It gives settlement statements, and also you can put it on social media. Go on. CoreFact is a hard copy postcard that has a website in the background. These are all services that we offer, that Fidelity offers to our clients to help grow their business. Reach 150 is a marketing tool that helps your presence on the World Wide Web by using testimonials and social media. Go on. Prospect Now, we've got quite a few systems now that are designed to help realtors find clients that are most likely to be buying and selling. So they're using analytic data rather than in the old days we always just farmed 200 around the listing. Now we're looking at age, how long they've been in the home, if they have people, if they've empty nesters, things like that, to help make us, make the farming more profitable. Breakthrough broker, this is Sync. Sync is a great system that a lot of folks use to get leads, Commissions Inc., so that's a good program. And then Breakthrough Broker is a free program that gives you information. And I'm Shirley. And you click. Thank you.